Now we're going to talk about determining the domain of a radical function composed with other functions. So when radical functions are composed with other functions, determining the domain can become a little more complicated. So as we see here, we have this f of x equals the square root of x plus 2 times x minus 3 over x minus 1. So we have to look at several things. First of all, from the well, I guess the whole thing, the x plus 2 times the x minus 3 divided by x minus 1 has to be greater than or equal to 0. So if we look at our zeros here, we would have from the numerator negative 2 and positive 3, and from the denominator positive 1. And I'll just do a little table to determine where we're going to be in a positive range. Not worry about graphing it. So negative 2, 1, and 3. I do it in order. And our factors are the x plus 2, x minus 3, and x minus 1. So a number smaller than negative 2, that's what goes in this space here, is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative. Negative 3 minus 1 is negative. Negative 3 minus 3 is negative. Negative 3 minus 1 is negative. So we end up with overall negative. Between negative 2 and 1, the easy value to use is 0. 0 plus 2 is positive. 0 minus 3 is negative, and 0 minus 1 is negative. So a positive times a negative is a positive. Between 1 and 3 is 2, or 2, right, what I say. 2 plus 2 is positive. 2 minus 3 is negative. 2 minus 1 is positive. So that overall charge is negative. And then here, bigger than 3 is 4. 4 plus 2 is positive. 4 minus 3 is positive. And 4 minus 1 is positive, so we get a positive out of that. Now, the other thing we have to watch out for, so right off we can see, just looking at the table, the places this occurs that's positive would be in this region and this region. But because when we're coming up with our domain, because 1 in the denominator will make it 0, we cannot include the 1. So we can't include that, but we can include the 3 and the negative 2. So our intervals are going to be negative 2 to 1 with a parenthesis there, union that with, and bracket, squared off bracket. I'm out of space over there, darn it. I'm hoping that you guys saw that. Let me just scoot this over there. Now that ensures it. But I will rewrite this part here. Okay, so we are at negative 2 to 1 with a parenthesis there. That's for this interval. That's here. Union that with 3 to infinity. This is a squared off bracket. That's this interval right here. So that is the domain of this function.